We definitely do. Maybe I'll try that. I'll employ that. But what Big are hoping to employ is a win here on Nuke. But Heroic, they're starting on the T side, and they're not going to be easy to hold off. It's Big with the dual Berettas. It's Tizian pulling them out. He's got an itchy grenade in there as well. Over for Heroic. Take a look at their purchase. Down coming out with the only utility in play, the itchy flash and smoke.
They're going to be used early alongside that smoke and flash, but Heroic have plenty of players running through Yard 2. Might be a split onto this A site.
Well, Keto knows players have crossed over to Hell, but he can't do anything about it. So Searson now in a difficult position. Tizian getting one on the dual Berettas, but it's Keto that is the main fragger here for Big. Bomb will come over into the lower site. Gideon locking that bomb plant in, at least confirming the second round force buy. And that is all they will get out of the pistol. Just one kill for Heroic and a bomb plant. And Big will be relatively happy with that pistol win.
Well worked by Big there. Good awareness of the possibility of that fast flank down to B. It initially looks like it might be a split onto the A site, but with that smoke that Stown ended up throwing out on towards A, it ends up being that split attempted to get down towards B. And Big, even though they kind of let that happen, they let the players get onto the B site, they won enough of these early kills to put themselves in a good position. Even when they're dropping down the vents, they're able to use all their players together to get those kills. Big have got a good chance to get off to a good start here. Although with that bomb plant, Heroic have decided to take a timeout to talk this one through.
Straight away, off the back of a pistol loss, you're coming into this round, and obviously getting that bomb plant will secure enough money to get a semblance of a force buy, put a few rifles in, some upgraded weapons. So there's certainly a round you can win. And, you know, as the meta has continued and the economy shifts in Counter-Strike, the pistol round and the follow-up round come in a package, right? If you want to get off to a good start, you have to convert that pistol win. It's not enough just to get the pistol under your belt. When you're going up against a buy like this, where Heroic are on 3 MAC-10s, a Galil and a Deagle, I mean, it still is certainly potent. We'll see if Big can hold on to this.
The upside of this is that Heroic have much more utility than they would have, and they're going to use some nades early with the aggression. Tizian quickly traded, and they can get access to that B bomb site.
Well, Keto's going to try and stop them from going down without damage, and doing his best, but he hasn't been able to get a kill just yet. Eventually gets a chance, but it's Stown that's won it out. And Tapson's made the quick rotation down into the B site. He's separated. Zantara is severed off from his teammate with that Molotov. And Heroic so far so good, but Searson sneaking in. He's pulled the dual Berettas out. All plant secured again here for Heroic. The headshot at long range with the Julies for Searson. He's going to try and get in close and behind him. It's another kill for Searson on the dual Berettas. And suddenly only Gideon left in the 1v1. He's got a chance here with this Deagle. Searson is under a good bit of pressure. He's got that smoke, hasn't got the kit right now, so that does create a bit more pressure for Searson. He'll try and draw Gideon into the open, and Gideon's not buying this. He doesn't believe he's on the bomb, but now he might think it's going for him. He runs forward, doesn't get the kill, but Searson's off the bomb, and that's all that matters right now for Heroic. Running that clock down, and Gideon still gets the kill in what is an extremely awkward engagement.
Oh, the dualies were looking so good for Searson earlier on, but they betray him in that final fight. He did some early damage and then just couldn't find the follow-up shot he needed. Cadian gets away on 2 points of health, and Heroic's force buy works for them. And that utility had a pretty big influence on that round. As you pointed out, the Molotov helped spread apart those big players. They have flashes, they have that smoke to help them get the bomb down, so the emphasis on the nades was working for them. And now they've got to handle these Deagles, which could be deadly. Tapson's got an early frag.
Oh, Stown, he's ready for that play. If Tizian just walking right through the smoke, he'll take that gift all day long. Heroic congregating into lobby. Tapson swings open the door, but shooshes in with the headshot very quickly. That's a nasty surprise. A jack in the box, but this one is lethal.
Searson not going to land the first shot. He wants to stick around, but Stown has run him down. And that should put an end to this one. If you're curious as to why Tizian decided to walk through that smoke, it may look silly when you look at the outcome, but when you take into account the fact that Heroic only had 4 players alive and Big spotted a couple of players at Yard, Stown was the only player actually holding lobby. And it's pretty common for that one man to be holding on the lurk to hold a much more passive position. So I think that's why Tizian was just hoping, okay, maybe Stown will be watching ramp, or not ramp rather, maybe he'll be watching door or hut instead. Fortunately for Tizian, that was not the case.
Xantara's just looking to hang on to the Kevlar and the Mac-10. It's a whole lot better than going into the next round with nothing, right, Hawker? You want to at least have something to play with here, so... Xantara is going for the save call, and Heroic are up 2-1. Again, just a reminder, if you are tuning in, Big won the pistol round, but Heroic came back and won the 4 spot. Searson tried his damnedest to get it over the line for Big, but they couldn't convert it. And now Heroic have a little bit of leg room to get this T-side going. And what they're going up against doesn't look so solid for Big. But coming into this team, I've been very, very impressed with Shush, right? You know, he's coming into this team. We kind of all agreed that a direct trade for board made sense, right? That was the one move that really made a whole lot of sense. And he has started to pop off. He started to really slot into this team well, and he gives them such a strong supportive element.
Yeah, it's really impressive, the amount of early success that Heroic have had with these roster moves. I think, based on the results I've seen so far in this tournament, like my two teams that are looking the best, I think are probably Heroic and Gambit. Like just based on the performances and the way they've got their wins, they look like the best teams here right now.
Definitely positive signs for the two teams that have been dominating across each and every top level tournament. Looks to continue into DreamHack Masters. Well, now the USP, the Mac-10 and the Deagle start to gather up to see what they can find, and they have found a couple of kills onto Heroic. Refresh getting involved with the Galil, and this time is ticking as Xantara's looks to hang around. This time does not need to save the Mac-10 because they will have money into the next one.
It does look like Heroic and Gambit might get a couple of new challenges, though. Like that Na'Vi performance, that's exciting.
Yeah,
we've got a lot of fun matchups ahead of us.
The worrying part about Na'Vi is every time you put your faith in them and you get hyped about them, they just change it up, right? They just break your little heart, Hawker, and hopefully they can stick together with that performance. And I don't know if it's going to be exactly sustainable with the likes of Perfecto and Bit having those superstar performances, but if they can pop them in every now and then and just maintain a good level, and it gets very exciting, and a test may begin for the likes of Heroic and Gambit. But in this test right now for Heroic, they're going up against Big, and it's a buy round out for Big. It has got some weaknesses. It's not perfect. You've got the MP9, you've got a heck of a lack of utility.
And a lot of utility used early by Heroic in this round. They only have one smoke left. They used a lot of smokes on Yard. Searson has that line of sight, but they're wrapping into A.
And Xantara's will be under a good bit of pressure. He's going to get one and just drop back into hut, but he doesn't know that Stown's in behind. You might think that's safe, but Stown destroys your humble abode. And now Stown looking for a second kill. It's fantastic stuff from the young Day, and it leaves Big in a situation where they once again have to tuck tail. It's Searson carrying his AWP into the next one is Tizian. He's stuck in ramp room. Only got the MP9 now, so these fights actually could work out for him. He gets a little bit of extra cash. He can mow them down. He's close to getting the double, but unfortunately, Refresh finds him, and it is just now Searson having the safe game.
Loving what we're seeing out of Stown so far today. He just looks really composed in a lot of these scenarios. We saw some excellent success from his secondary AWP over on Mirage. Searson, gotta get back to safety. They're gonna flash and run at him. There's not much time left.
Oh, Searson just hides in behind the barrel. That might save him, but they're over the top. That's the AWP gone. That's heartbreak for Big.
Nothing safe for them. This was Stown, though, just so patient. Knew exactly what he needed to do. Knew that he was the player that could just not bait his teammates, but just wait and get set up for an easy fight in behind. Ends up finding it. They find that wrap onto the A-bomb site that Big were unable to deal with. And it should be a half investment here from Big. 4-1 down early. Not enough money for a buy in this one.
Well, this is definitely a difficult one for tabseN to figure out with his coach over there. Dude, right? You've really got to pull all of the minds together on this team to figure out how you're going to get on the board at the start of this half. Heroic have come out with a strong game plan on this Nuke side of things. I did love the point that was brought up. I believe it was from Bly on the desk, right? You kind of knew that Big were forced into that Mirage pick, so maybe Heroic can come into it knowing that in advance as well and just really be hard prep for Hawk. It definitely seemed like they were in control for the most part. And now here on Nuke, they've got a strong game plan as well.
Yeah, that definitely could be part of it, but I also do think... Oh, hello, Tabson. The man I talked about in the pre-game, hanging around that yard position, already showing us what he's made of. Yeah, I think Heroic normally just love to play with that aggressive style in general. And I think maybe they look at Big's game and they say, yeah, okay, like we can just play a lot of our normal Mirage rounds where we do get that information, because they do that pretty often against most of the teams they play against. Definitely worked for them.
Yeah, they manipulated them quite well. You know, Big were pulled and forced in all directions. And this round, it has been a pretty good start for them as Tabson gets that 1 kill through the smoke with a deagle onto Refresh, but finding much more with the weak weapons is certainly going to be a difficult task, to say the least. But Keto is repositioned up top hut. There's a second player down there, and Xantares and Keto both get kills on the deagles, and now AKs to play with for Big.
Those deagle body shots are deadly up close. That's what allows Big those close-range fights with the pistols. Tizian's holding this angle where he can watch a couple of positions. He can spot for shadows. Oh, he doesn't see the shadow of Tessus, though, does he?
Well, Shush has the bomb, and Searson's above him. He spots it. He knows it's on the back of Shush down there, but how does he get down? How does he get down with not being spotted, but also just being sneaky? Shush gets in front of the doorway. In the meantime, Xantares has gone down, and Shush is out into the site. Keto has got the information thanks to Searson. He's passed that on, and he's got close into hut. Now he's creeping up on the bomb plant, so Shush might just go down here, denying the plant. Oh, it just comes in last second on the plant, but Big still went out the round.
What a steal from Big. They'll be delighted with that. Tabson was the man to open it up, but it was really those couple of kills on the squeaky players that made all the difference. Keto had just scaled up on top of hut. Oh, wow. Did Tabson's shot that went behind, like, make a little sightline there through the smoke? That can happen sometimes if you shoot the floor and the little dust comes up. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure.
It's hard to know because when you're on the Go TV, the perspective is a little different, right? In comparison to client side for Tabson, but definitely a possibility. But a nice shot nonetheless in a big round, no pun intended.
That gives them a bit more comfort now. Second round on the board for Big, and a buy round at the ready for this one. They've even got a couple of AKs into their hands. Searson has found that early fight on yard. That was AWP on AWP. Searson gets the better of Cadian this time.
And Tizian, he's forced down off his ramp position, but Stown looking to fight him. He wants to pick, but he knew the Heaven peak had dropped down into Hell, and it's Searson with the AWP getting the follow-up kill for Big. That keeps them in the man advantage situation, but can Searson get even more out of the round? Tessus with the AWP in this one. Searson is holding that red cross to secret, and Tessus misses the shot, and that'll be his death sentence.
Searson getting involved all across the map right now. Rotating between different positions. Refresh in an awkward spot. I'm not sure if Searson will fully clear this, but it looks like he is going to peek out, and Refresh just went into the open. Searson on for the ace right now. Shush might not want to give it to him, though.
45 seconds in play for Shush. He walks out, but they're ready. They are poised for Shush to come out into the A site. And even if he gets one, there was always a second, and Keto passes the test first time. 4-3, as Big now starting to build their economy on the defensive side. Heroic going for their second tactical timeout. They called one straight away after the pistol loss, and now this one coming in. They led on in the first half, so it feels like Big are back in with a chance here.
Nice angle from Searson early. Not one that is often expected when you jump up on top of that garage position. And then it was just a close and clean quad kill, right? Just a lot of different fights, taking his time on all of them. Really down to the positioning more than anything else. Wasn't the flashiest round you'll ever see from Searson, but it was an incredibly important one, a very impactful one. It's going to help Big build up some money. And it's going to force Heroic down to a position where they have almost no money in the bank.
Yeah, his breaking point, his tipping point right now. in round 8. We'll see if Big can get themselves this round win. It will certainly put them in a fantastic position that they would have liked to have found themselves in after the pistol win to start off this map. Because of the second round force win from Heroic, it has thrown a big spanner into the works. Now Syrson dropping back, playing near CT. Tizian is at ramp. He's got backup from Tabson here. They can double up. Looks like Heroic are leaning in towards the ramp play, and there's two proficient riflers at the ready. Tizian will be elevated. Tabson in below him. This will be difficult to flush out, but Tess says he's done a good job taking Tizian out, and Tabson's only been able to get one. So that does open up the B play here for Heroic, and Syrson has flashed off his angle.
It looked like Big were ready, but they didn't get the setup as quickly as they would have wanted. And now Refresh could be in enemy lines, but he was spotted. Yeah. Syrson spotted him from yard, so Xantares looks up the vent, waits for any potential flank. Refresh is playing it so patiently, though.
Yeah, even though they know Refresh is up there, he's not going to get these flanking kills easily, but it is taking two players out of the retake attempt. He's just keeping them up here, focused on his spot, and all of the kills come in here for Heroic, and it leaves Xantares alone in the 1v4. AK-47 starting to retreat its way out of the B site. Does get a parting kill on Tessus, but Refresh does have a team Molotov right in front of him that's preventing him to peek into Secret, and Xantares is going to use that advantage. He's going to get closer and closer, and has exited Secret comfortably. Now towards back garage, gets the right read on the position of Refresh, but Stown is close by. Xantares keeping the weapon due to the economic situation of Heroic. They don't want to lose any more weapons. They'll try and face in, they'll spam, but they'll not risk too much. And it's Big going for the tack timeout.
A lot of early timeouts from both of these teams. We're only 8 rounds in, and I think we've had 4 timeouts now. This looked like a good idea from Big. It looked like they were well prepared for the ramp play. Maybe they know that Heroic like to fall back on that ramp push after losing a round, or when they feel like they want to go back to something more comfortable. But they don't quite assemble the setup quickly enough. And you can see from Tabson's perspective, that's so frustrating because they call for the 2 players to stack ramp. Normally, that's what you want, to line up and just play off each other and get a mow down in that position. But one misstep and it goes against them.
Both teams with solid purchases now. There's no real weak links. There's no chinks in the armor just yet. So a solid buy for both teams. 2 kits in play for Big, so keep note of their positions. And it's a quick play out here from Heroic. The flashes are perfect from Tessus. That allows an opening in for Refresh, but Xantares makes it short-lived. And now it's the real play. It's the outside play from Heroic.
Tizian's already gone down, though. He's not playing ramp this time. He's ahead of the game.
Yeah, he's coming up quickly into Secret. He's got a good position, but he's checked. Stown is so ready for that. And that's the kill onto Tizian, the headshot, but Tabson, he's trying to be sneaky, knowing he has to step up, knowing that his team are down too many members, and a play needs to be made, and it's Tabson stepping into that, leading with an example, but he's whiffed his spray, he's whiffed his lines, he's got the kill, but only one.
Imagine if Stown doesn't turn back there. It could have been multiple players lining up, but instead it's a 1-for-1 trade. And now Xantares wants to show Tabson how it's done.
Xantares is currently walking down Secret, but Cadian, he was holding it. And now, it's Shush walking into the angle. Xantares picks him and drops back. It is a 2v2 here, 44 seconds. Good stuff from Xantares not to overcommit, not to lose his life. He still has Syrson down in the site. He's playing from the cubby. They have no idea that he's in here right now. They have to be aware of a possibility of an aggressive play under the bomb planter, but it's safe in behind Silo. And Syrson hasn't been able to find it, but the info's gathered from Tessus, but the shot is good from Syrson. It still comes through. And now Cadian, coming out of the control room, has to clutch it out. The shot has landed. The HE is not going to reach his position, is not going to reach its intended mark. And Cadian's under so much pressure. The headshot from Xantares, well played. Great composure from Big to win that round.
And it was that decision by Xantares to just completely fall back off that angle that made it so that Cadian wasn't ready for his position at the end of the round there. He just didn't seem to have any clue where Xantares was. He wasn't sure where that final big player could be. So once he puts that shot into the smoke, it's easy pickings for Xantares, who comes up with an all-important flank. Syrson played it very patiently. This was that last fight that Cadian wasn't ready for. Big are having to work hard for some of these rounds, but they're doing a good job at staying on top of these situations. Because once Heroic got down lower, I thought they were going to have a really good chance to just execute onto B and win the round. But this time it's Big who steal it back.
Walking outside into Santaras. He'll easily take those 2 picks. Tabson and Keto stepping up, and now Sirison trying to hit the shot, but Gideon will fall down. 5-5 tied up. Big, they did get the pistol start, Alex. It was foiled by the second round force buy of Heroic, and they've had to dig deep to get themselves back into this position, and it has come through for them. Another good performance for Santaras. He's up to 11-4. Sirison's been playing pretty well as well, 9-7. Heroic going out for a purchase. 2 Galils, 2 AKs, and a MAC-10.
Cadian having to take the weaker weapon ahead of this round. And not ideal that you have a couple of Galils in there. It's important to get that full utility on Nuke. That's what Heroic decide to focus on. They're using some of that utility early. Searson goes down the vents. But Heroic have still got plenty of players in lobby. Could very well be an explosion onto this A site.
Flash for the pop play. And he's going to work on to Santaras. He's forced further back into the site. Going to have to smoke off all of these mollies. They're trying to make an inferno on the site here, Heroic, but it's not really worked out for them. Santaras has just picked off Stown, who was severed from the rest of his teammates. Now Keto is going to throw some aggression into the mix as well. Santaras hitting the shot through the doorway, but Gideon and Shusha found the kills back, and Tabson over Heaven with the headshot. It's Gideon and Refresh into a 2v3. Heroic once again a man down.
It almost looked like those early nades from Heroic weren't followed up on quick enough. They end up just kind of giving away. They're going to push, and here comes Searson. Up from Secret, catches Refresh in the back. It's Cadian in another clutch. We know how capable he can be in these situations.
He's going to start making his way forward around the corner as Tizian, but he's got a good angle here. One that Gideon did not check. And a headshot from the MP9 is deadly enough. It's 6-5 as Big reclaim the lead.
They've done a really good job at stabilizing here. Getting back to the 6-5 lead. There were a couple of moments earlier in the game where you thought they made a misstep or a small misplay that could have been really costly. They lose that one key fight that looks like it opens up the round for Heroic, but they're still able to bounce back from some of those moments. And now Heroic are the ones with the pistols and a potential fast A play.
Well, they're grouping up at the ready for it. Santaras has got Incendiary at the ready to deal with the faster play, but they burst out so quickly it hasn't even been able to get effective. But luckily Santaras gets the double kill. Keto did well to get one before falling. There was an onslaught of players running him down, and Gideon falls victim to Tabson from above. 7-5 now for Big. And Heroic with the money back. It's the AKs, the utility this time. They won't have any weaknesses.
And this time they should be a bit better served on that front. Great to see Searson having a good game here. Always a big piece of the puzzle for this Big side. Santaras definitely the standout player so far, though. 15 kills on the board.
And obviously his role switch as well, his position change. He's handled it very well so far. Great to see out of Santaras.
Stown's taken a lot of damage, but I don't know if Santaras knows he's pushed in on the edge of this smoke. Got to be careful that you don't go down here.
Yeah, this is definitely sneaky with Stown's just gone down the vent. Now we'll throw a bit of a curveball to Big. And Tizian and Tabson, they like to double up in the ramp, but that flash is just about ineffective on the Shush. He held a good tight angle, but it doesn't even matter. Even though he avoids the flashbang, Tizian still wins out the duel.
I don't think we've seen any response to Stown dropping down vent, though. We haven't seen someone rotate down to B. And if Heroic are aware of that fact, then maybe they can quickly find access to this B site. And if Stown can cut off the rotation, that's when Heroic have a really good chance for a fast bomb plant.
Well, they're going towards outside past red. The nade will catch 2 players. It does damage onto Gideon and Refresh, but they still continue their charge into the lower site. Stown has been down here, just making himself comfortable, making himself at home. And Tizian, he is aware of the possibility. They've got players down here now for Big. Tizian is the player inside of the site. They will look to try and deal with the initial play out decon. He's found one, but traded out pretty quickly. And Searson on the ramp at the right side, holding, just waiting for something. And finally, the rest of his teammates will arrive. Heroic have not gone onto the site. They have not been able to plant this bomb. And Big are in control. But they can't just go back up the vent. And that's a window of opportunity. The bomb did get up, but Cadian didn't follow.
Full health for TeSeS, but 4 players against him. And where's he going to play this post plant from? He's planted it a little open so he can go back towards door, try and fight. Unfortunately for him, though, he's unable to win it. Keto comes out on top. Big have really bounced back here. I was worried that Heroic were just going to come in and take over Nuke, but clearly some of those past performances, those previous matchups between these two teams that have been close, look set to repeat on this map.
TeSeS luckily gets away there with Cadian. Not so lucky on the follow-up. So far, it's so good now for Big on the CT side. We'll see if Heroic can find an answer for what Big are doing. They're adjusting quite well. Everybody's stepping up for Big across the board. Look at that scoreboard. Just Xantara's leading the way, but the rest of them are starting to catch up now. 10 kills on Keto, tabseN, and Searson. He's in a little bit behind on 7, but he has been that ramp player.
AKA's back out for Heroic. Still solid utility for them. Might be time to fall back on something like the yard smokes, maybe try and draw some rotations out from Big, but Tizian's again got ahead of them. He's playing inside secret.
Oh, this could work out, Tizian. Oh, they're just running with their knife out, refresh right into the guillotine.
Loving some of these switch-ups from Big. It looks like they are getting ahead of the curve. They're not giving away this position for free, but tabseN's just giving them a free frag.
Yeah, just walking, trying to transition outside to a stronger position, and maybe just a little unnecessary. Now Tizian taking a fight. All that hard work, a grid opening kill, and suddenly it's Heroic back into the swing of things with the man advantage, but Searson has pushed through the ramp. He's holding for the lobby play of Heroic. But I like how they're going to put a player up on the T-roof. They're getting ready with some of that utility, and Searson's dropped down. They're going slow here. They've killed the round completely here, Heroic, and that is making Big think.
Just that lack of information on yard was the issue for Big. I think now they've realized they don't have to be as scared of that B bomb site with Keto covering it off. Put a bit more attention on towards A. Not much utility left for Heroic, but if they just go contact out onto this A site, they should be able to, especially with that smoke up and the kill from Stown.
Yeah, all it takes is one smoke to smoke off mid. There was no player inside of the site. Now the explosion from Heroic just towards the end. It started with a big kill, but it finished with a Heroic 6th round.
I think for Big, you could see the frustration on Tizian when he went down. I think that was partly due to the missed spray, but also partly because I felt like Big were in decent control of that scenario. Like, Tizian was already in secret, so I don't know if tabseN needs to go for that information there. That full control of yard, not necessarily needed when you've got that early kill, when you have someone ready down secret ahead of the game. But unfortunately for Big, those fights go against them, and, well, Searson's been caught out early in this one.
Through the smoke, the first victim found for Heroic and tabseN. This was the play he went down previously with this play, trying to transition outside, and he's into garage. Will refresh expect him here. He's walking closer, and again, his back turn tabs him with a free kill. Tizian aggressing into ramp, this time working out for him, and he gets away.
It's going to stick around, though, because Keto's here to help. Tizian able to find yet another frag with the help of his teammate. Heroic don't want to go down to B, though. They're going to wrap up to this A site.
Oh, and Xantara's is ready for it. Molotov down deep into the site. Xantara's just holding for the cross at heaven, and tabseN, oh, he gets caught outside. Cadian, good awareness to check that. And he brings down tabseN and turns it into the 2v2. Gideon's going for the fight at mid, and he's going to lose the bomb. Shush now into the 1v2 clutch. He has been able to find his first victim, but look at that health. 3 HP, no bomb control. And Xantara's knows this. He knows he can just watch the cross out. Finally, Shush will spot him, trying to use the Molotov, but Xantara's knows he just needed to land one shot. It's Big leading the way in the first half. We'll see if they can pull it back and get the win here on Nuke.
Thank you, brother.
Celebrations for Big, a good half for them. 9-6 coming into Nuke, currently a map down after losing their map pick 16-10 over on Mirage. But they lead the way going into the second. They'd love a pistol win here.
They would. Heroic, on the meantime, looking on their CT side to see if they can get off to something spicy here. Nade ready for Stown and a CZ for Cadian. That could be a pretty deadly 1-2 punch.
Especially when he's up on top of the hut here. Very difficult angle to flush out, and he's got one. Just rattles back, reloads his weapon, and they're pushing out here, but getting caught by every Heroic player. Tizian and Tabson just mauled to pieces. Heroic with a clean pistol.
They just don't get anywhere in that round. They don't get out onto the site. Cadian gets an early kill, but there were just a couple of Heroic players in position. Every single one of them lands their respective shots. And Big don't even get a chance to play the pistol round. Instead, they're going to try and see if they can win this follow-up. They've got 4 Deagles and a Scout at the ready.
Big tasted the medicine of the forced by loss in the first half. We'll see if they can fight back and let Heroic taste their own medicine in this one. Tizian's got down into the vent early. Good vent drop. And he's going to throw a little bit of a curveball to Heroic. They're still holding outside, waiting for the drop. But Tizian's not wasted any time getting up to the control room.
Smoke obscures the vision of Cadian, but Stown's found a way around it, looking up over the top and eventually finding the headshot. Tizian sneaking in. I think they tried to break the windows at the same time there, but they're unable to sneak in, and now Big have to try and follow through.
2 players down. It looked okay at the start of the round, but Heroic just find a way. And Shush is holding the vent. Just waiting and biding his time as Tessus is the player in the lowest side you've got to worry about if you're Big. And Santaras has found him, but he hasn't been able to take him out of the round. And now it's just Tabson. 1v5. They haven't been able to even get onto the site. Never mind come close to getting that bomb plant. A single kill for them, and Tabson will not change that. Heroic, they stay clean.
Very nice for Heroic to start this half with 2 convincing rounds. Build up some money. This round should be even more convincing for them. Again, we're getting that team effort coming through. That was that kill from Tasses, just making sure Tizian couldn't cause any chaos, any antics on that B bomb site. And not much for Big to work with here.
Not much at all, Hawker. And so far, okay, Tizian running down Tessus. He's going to try and put pressure onto him, but Tessus deals with it well. Refresh immediately will be standing himself down into the lower site to take up his post there. So far, it has been a real brawl for Big. Obviously, you've had to go up against what was a pretty strong start from Heroic after losing the pistol. And now they're trying to get a similar start into the second half after beating down and out, try and claw their way back. They haven't been able to do much at the start of this one. It's Down and Refresh coming through. There has been a couple of kills on the Cadian, and now they nearly get rid of Refresh. It's 1 HP left for him. Keto and Searson in the 2v3. And we'll slow down yet again. Under a minute still left in play.
This has got surprisingly scary, hasn't it? Keto about to round the corner. Tessus the player out in the open. It's an unexpected angle, not one they can clear. And Refresh on 1 health decides to peek, and it pays off for it.
Yeah, I mean, just as Big coming into it right there, they take that fight through the smoke. Tizian tries to run it down. Does become a little bit scary for Heroic. Refresh just about staying alive, and yeah, good confidence on the final peek out there as it is 9-9 on the board. Here comes the buy for Big. They have to show us something here early.
Still got that auto shotty in play for Heroic, which is a bit of a Nuke special. Oftentimes played on that top hut position. Sometimes can be played in towards ramp. Searson's got that AWP out though. We talked about his ability to get kills on the T side. One of the few AWPers in the world who actually has a higher T-side rating, and you can see why he's willing to take fights like that, and he wins another AWP battle up against Cadian.
Well, he's set to picture it perfectly with some stats there, Hawker. Searson showing up at the start of the round, Down dropping back, but Tabson is ready. He spots the arm as well, and a clean little tap. Tabson gives him it.
Heroic have to do something about this now. They realize they've got to gain some ground back. They've got to find a way back into this one. So they decide to push into lobby. Issue for them is they've spotted that it's clear, but that just means that Big have all of Yard and all of the ability to wrap into Hell and Heaven and all sorts of annoying positions.
They're just waiting on tabseN to fully clear all of the spots. With the flash ready, the ball will come up Heaven, but Tessis runs back into the site, but it's tabseN in with the kill, but they haven't checked for Shush. Once again, he is sneaky in below. They haven't cleared him. Oh, here we go, Shush. They haven't seen him. That's denial of the plant. Can he get another one? The XM is mowing them down. 2 kills for Shush, but Tizian and Xantares come in with the headshots. They save the day for Big, but Shush, he definitely had a chance there, Hawker.
He got the body paint out. He camouflaged himself against that wall. He had all the right colors to blend in. Wow. Could have got way scarier if there were more Heroic players alive. Bit of extra money for Shush, though. Remember, you get $900 for every shotgun kill. So that auto shot, he effectively paying for itself there. He'll get a bit more money back, and they're going to need it for this round. Shush has had to drop an AWP for a teammate. He goes down to a Deagle, but they get that double AWP setup that was so strong for them on Mirage.
It really was a backbreaker for Big. We'll see if that continues to be the case here on Nuke. Heroic behind currently. This could be the turning of the tides. And Tizian is peering further out in towards Hut. The rest of his teammates, meanwhile, have taken control of Secret. They're going to be running down here. And Stown, he's flashed off the angle. That's information of at least one AWP.
Ooh,
that
this molly from Tizian. Yeah, it could force 2 players out. Decide to extinguish it, and Big are flanking all the way around. They're getting a lot of yard control in these rounds.
Yeah, they're going to wrap Heaven, and that does put pressure on the 2 backside players, right? They've double stacked there. Tizian at least knows there's 1, but when that Heaven wrap comes in, you've got to deal with 2 players in behind, and the flash is at the ready for Keto. He's going to flash deep. Tess is completely blinded. That should get rid of him, but they've whiffed their spray. They've whiffed their lines. Eventually gets the kill. tabseN stepping up for Big as well, and Cadian finally with that ramp progression. He spotted an opening to try and pull the round back for his team. On plan starting to come through, but Shush is sneaking by. He's in behind, and tabseN's dropped down. It suddenly all becomes Keto. He's got a Molotov for this, but there's still 3 players he's got to look for. The underhand molly goes in, the defuse being stuck. It's not reaching Shush just yet. It's not reaching him at all, and it's not going to touch him. Cadian with the kill, and Heroic, they tie things up.
Oh, if that molly goes to the bomb, Heroic didn't have a kit. That could have been so dangerous. It could have been so much time bought, but unfortunately, he's unable to deny it. This was Shush sneaking onto the site. Smart decision with the Deagle. Get up close, just spam to the body. You know that player is going to be trapped on the bomb site. And it was looking so good for Big, but a couple of important fights won by Heroic. That kill from Cadian in at lobby was especially important, so they had that different prong of approach on that retake. And they get into the site because of it. But here goes Xantares.
Well, Xantares is not wasting any time. He's already pushed over the top of main. He wants to push up further into Hell if possible.
Oh, ramp's been left open.
It has left a huge opening for Big to walk into. And where do they go with this? Do they wrap Hell or do they go to the B side of the map? Cadian will be under a lot of pressure, having to deal with multiple players from multiple different angles.
What a great call from Big. They've been getting this yard control in every round, but look at the response. Heroic go for some counter-aggression, and Big is still ahead of the game.
Yeah, look how ready Big are for that as well. They know Heroic like to go for this reactive play. They like to take control back, and Cadian, he's tucked back in the corner. This is difficult to flush out, but Xantares, once he gets the info, his teammates are being fought, and Xantares, how has Cadian stayed alive here? How has he dealt with that? He's just dispatched 2 players, and Keto and CSGO in a 2v4. CSGO goes through with a quick shot. They've still got to pick up that bomb. Luckily, still 45 seconds left.
It's devolved into chaos here from what looked like a great call and a great read from Big to get that player flanking, to get ramp control. Now they've got to work hard to come back into this one. Keto has gained ground on the A site, though. He's forced Heroic back. 25 seconds left, and that bomb is going on to A.
Bomb getting planted. They know Cadian has to be close. The molly is not going to stop the plan, but it does make things uncomfortable for Searson, and Cadian focuses into the Rafters play, and Searson is stuck at the back of the site. They're putting pressure on his position. He tries for the peak, but there was just too many players to deal with. What a round from Cadian. Dealing well with the pressure, getting the right read on the retake attempt. Fantastic stuff. Meanwhile, over on the B stream, we've got G2 in the lead up against Mouse Sports. They've taken the first map away, and they look to be continuing their good form in the second map of Mirage. It's going to be difficult for Mouse Sports to back up in this one, but 2v2 for Mouse Sports players, Acorn and Bimas, not looking like they're going to be pulling this one back. Nexa and Nico looking to have this one on shutdown for an 11-4 half. If you're interested in following that one, it's over on the B stream.
This game here spicing up, though. I wouldn't be switching channels right now because we're starting to see those chess moves, those pieces come into play for both teams, and we're even seeing some crazy kills. Cadian stepping up with the AWP is something we've been waiting for. Searson was getting the better of him earlier on in this game. Now it's Big's turn to be down to a weakened buy. The upside, though, Dinko, is they have plenty of nades to work with. They've already put some smokes down on Yard. Oh, Heroic are ahead of that, though. They have a player down secrets. They know it wasn't the Yard play. And I think that allows Heroic to stay in place, be ready for these other plays.
Yeah, it doesn't force them to adjust their setup at all. They're feeling comfortable about this one. And now Big, they're turning their attentions back in towards the A side of things. Tapson has got the Molotov ready for top of the hut. That's going to force refresh just off the position he got up onto, but they've got a couple of players into the site. Can they do anything about it, though? Shush, he's only managed one, and the whole defense of the A site has only managed one kill collectively, but it's down through the smoke connects. There's a player right in front of him, and it's Tizian right through the smoke. One on the P250, but Cadian quick to respawn. It's Tessa's in lobby that might just get this fight against Keto, but it's Keto that comes out on top, and Cadian left alone. 1 versus 2 retake with the AWP. He goes to the decoy, but Big will secure 11 apiece. It's tied up again here on Nuke.
That is a massive round for Big. Look at what that does to Heroic's economy. Winning with pistols makes all the difference, and Heroic know it. They take their last timeout ahead of this round. And that all comes down to that flashbang onto the site. Those flashes that were blinding Shush. You saw that setup from Heroic was clearly called that Shush was going to be watching ramp or watching Hut from the site. That's what they were assuming there. So once he gets blinded and once the big players are able to get out through Hut while Shush is blind, it allows them to get an easy kill onto an unsuspecting player. Just those couple of flashes make all the difference. We know that Big love to make the most of that utility. They focused the utility in that round. And even though they ran into 3 CTs on the A site, those nades helped them steal it away.
They win a lot with a little. And round 23 should be a freebie. Heroic going to the USPs. That has been the story of Big, right? The utility usage more than their brawn, but they've got both in spades now. And the pressure outside coming in for the USPs. Luckily, Big holding it off. Not too many issues. Shushi been tying up down a little bit, but Cadian now the last remaining player.
This is you in matchmaking, Dinko.
Yeah,
every time I call, let's 5-man rush Yard. Let's just try and mess him up. And then Dinko's like, I want to get a kill.
Yeah, man.
Hide in a corner.
Every kill counts, right? Your stats have to look pretty, and if you can find one on an unsuspecting
I play
player,
for the team, Dinko. I don't play for stats.
Yeah, well, you know, Hawk, that's why you're at the bottom of the scoreboard every time.
Oh.
Well, Cadian finds himself an AK, and that's about it. He dies pretty quickly after. 12-11, 1 kill, and 2 overall for Heroic in that round, but Big will quickly sweep it under the rug. Heading into round 24, it's the buyout again for Heroic. The money was broken in the last round, but they've got to buy it back again.
And to Cadian's credit, I was making fun of him a bit, but getting that 1 kill for him makes it a pretty decent difference when you're that AWPer. You want to get all the money you can, right? Because now he gets an extra nade, and you never know, that can make all the difference. Having that tiny bit of extra money to help get that 1 more nade when you have to buy that expensive gun can be impactful. So if that HE grenade comes back to win them the round, it'll all be down to that 1 USP kill for the extra $300.
They're walking on the edges of these smokes, but Tess says he has a good position to deal with this walk-up. And Stown is in towards main alongside him to play together, and Testis will pick up this initial information. He gets the double kill. Well, actually, just one. Stown backed him up there. Keto brought out of the round by him, and now the reface outside again. It's teamwork between Testis and Stown that's got this round locked in truly for Heroic, and it's just cleaned up. Not a single player drops for the Danes.
Big try and see if they can just quickly wrap into main. Oftentimes, the CTs on Yard won't always play in that garage angle straight away in the round. So they were hoping they could maybe get ahead of it. But this time around, Testis was in an excellent position to get one kill from behind and to really help his teammate who was playing in main. Santara is very disappointed about that one. Still got to buy, though.
Yeah, they do, and it's an important round coming up in round 25. Searson is going quickly towards ramp, but he's smoked off. So any hopes of getting opening, the chance before the smoke pops to get that opening kill are gone. Instead, it's a play outside here from Heroic. They've got aggressive. It's down. It's pushed up close.
I like this call. After you just shut them down at Yard last time, you're probably a bit safer to get into this aggressive position early. And tabseN has to be very careful here. Stown can hear these nades being thrown.
Yeah, he knows exactly where he is right now, and tabseN is going to try and deal with that issue down to his left side. And Stown, he's still waiting for his opportunity, and as the time ticks on, it's Tizian that's drawn first blood into this round for Big. Finally, Stown getting his chance, but he whips his lines. He hasn't been able to get it, and tabseN, he's got a follow-up headshot for Big. Heroic are starting to panic. They have to make the rotation, at least one down into the B side. But here come Big. They're going into A, and it's Shush close to the doorway. We've got to have a big step up from him. The flank from Testis could definitely throw some issues that way. And Shush with a distraction gets one. Refresh stepping up. And finally, it is brought back into a situation where Big are favored. And Refresh is going to walk into lobby. There's chaos right now on the server, and Refresh looks to thrive in it. 1v1 up against tabseN. Refresh looking for the clutch, and he has got it. Big plays coming in for Refresh. He crushes the German side.
You know what they say, Dinko? Chaos is a ladder, and that's why Heroic had to make that round chaotic. When they go down to the 3v5 and they start to climb those rungs back into the round. Shout out Littlefinger for that quote. Game of Thrones, great show until it wasn't. But Refresh, the snappy aim at the end here. This is that X factor we were talking about that he could bring to Heroic, and Hunden is loving every second of it.
Yeah, first seat back, right? Heroic, they have the return of Hunden after serving his ban. He is back with the Heroic side. And it's a fast play here from Xantares, and so clean under pressure. Kidding with the little tap. He's going to come back with his pistol, but Searson's run right into the rifle, and Testis is not going to miss those opportunities. He's going to deal with it well, just isolating these fights. It puts Tizian in a Tech 9 versus 4 round, and of course not looking too likely for much success out of Tizian. Heroic will be going up to 14 rounds. No bomb plant here for Big, and that is a little bit upsetting for them. They would like some extra money, and Tizian might be able to get some personal allowance if he gets a few more kills. Testis has been brought down, and Tizian has the right read. He could go down into the lower site and have a 1v1 against Refresh if he decides to go that way. But Tizian still has all the time in the world to think about what he wants to do into this one.
Love that Shush doesn't overextend there. Just sits back in lobby. That's what he's so good at. Cutting down on any potential mistakes. Not giving Tizian too many chances here. Maybe a bomb plant, though. Tizian's sneaking up towards A. They've heard that ladder, and now they're trained on his position.
Yeah, now it becomes much more difficult, and Cadian closes it. It's 14 to 12. Like I said, no bomb plant for Big, so they won't have all that extra money on top, but the money is still solid enough to get a reasonable buyout here. They'll have the utility, they'll have what they want, an attack timeout coming through as well.
Can feel how important this round is for them. Fully focused on what is coming up. Who's doing the talking right now? Okay, tabseN is getting involved with it, as you would expect ahead of this one. Dude could also have a word to the team ahead of a crucial round for them. They've tried a lot of yard play, a lot of fast plays. Maybe it is time to slow things down somewhat. You also always have that ability to just set up Searson for a fight, which I love about this Big team. They do have that option nowadays where Searson is good enough to just take those duels Might not be the round for it, though, considering he's having to go without Kevlar ahead of the all-important round 27.
Big, they've got to get it done here. They have to get a round win on the board. Otherwise, Heroic, and here goes a boost attempt. Big were one of the first teams to really implement this. You often find it difficult to get the pick on the AWP, and no one really presenting themselves for the opportunity. That's at least some info. I mean, the lack of info, it turns out to be info, but Tessis is down as Secrets there's early. It's Shush on the A site now who has to hold, and Santaras will be the first player that goes down. A man advantage in play here for Heroic.
Bit of a risky peek. It didn't look all that well set up. It was just a couple of flashes that looked like they were trying to set up Xantares for a fight, but Cadian's committed to this angle.
Yeah, once you miss that shot, there's a lot more pressure for Cadian, but luckily Stown is there to try and relieve some of it. Cadian gets out of that position. He gets further down the ramp, and that does keep him alive and gets him some information, a better position as well to deal with the incoming B attack if it is to come down the ramp. But 45 seconds left, and look at Heroic again, going for some lobby aggression, taking this map control back. They don't like to let Big take much control without snatching back what they've left behind.
Cadian's ready on this lower site, AWP in hand. There are flashes available, but Big might want to go contact. That could give Cadian the chance with the AWP. Where are the big players coming from? They've thrown their nades. Now Cadian knows, and he's got the first kill. Tight angle on the second, but Searson's there for the trade, and the bomb will be planted.
Bomb down, but a man advantage for Heroic into the retake. Kits on every player, some utility available, and Tessa's coming back down the ramp side. Is trying to get a better position at Rafters, but now spams in front of the double door to change up his spot. It's Searson at Decon, finding the pick onto Refresh. He's going to go forward to try and fight double door, and now it's looking a little rough now for Taps, and he's stuck in the open. He finally gets to the window, but Testis comes in for the headshot. They get onto the defuse, and Heroic are up to series point, 15-12 here on Nuke.
We were saying it earlier, Dinko, it's been a lot of close wins for Heroic on this map. 16-12s, 16-14s. It looks like another one of those scenarios here, but they have got up to map point first. Big did a decent enough job at getting into a winnable position, but they were always down. The nades that came against them were never going to be too good for them. And Heroic definitely happy with the position they put themselves in. 3 map points, 3 opportunities to close it out in regulation.
And Stown, look at his aggression already. Look how much control he's got with these outside plays. He does drop off pretty quickly after, though. They want resources in towards the inner side of the map. And it's going to be Tessis with the first pick. Keto dropped through the smoke from the ramp spam.
Nade into A. Doesn't do much damage. Flash to follow. Searson with that scout can be very, very good, but up against a full gun round, it's not going to be easy to make the most of that.
Tizian, he's already out vent.
But smoke comes in.
Yeah, Tizian's already out vent. He's looking for that fight heaven, waiting for the player to peek out. Now Tizian getting closer, encroaching on the position. It's Cadian and Refresh that have found the kills, and it's Heroic that have found themselves a win. It's going to be a 2-0 locked in against Big. They show up, they perform, and Heroic are looking like a team to beat here. I'm looking forward to seeing that Danish derby. They have locked themselves in versus Astralis.